Hey guys, it's Luke. I'm here to do the second part of a little series I'm doing on the Aircore system by Flyzone. This is a super neat system if you haven't heard anything about it. It's a modular plane system. It allows you to purchase several different bodies of planes, and you can actually switch out all the servos, the motor, and everything between planes within a matter of seconds. Really cool idea. I give whoever came up with that a lot of credit. Definitely a smart decision, and I'm going to tell you why. I got a good video for you here, but let me just jump right into it. If you haven't heard about this, do a little bit of research. What you can do is actually for under 200 bucks, and on Tower Hobbies they always have coupons. So for under $200 you can order a set that has two planes, transmitter, battery, charger, motor, the Aircore, everything that you need to get up in the air, and have two planes. Really neat little system. Let me just start with the transmitter. The transmitter, and if you guys haven't seen my unboxing of this, you should check that out. It'll explain how everything comes in the packaging, what parts you need, and things like that. Definitely check out that video if you hadn't had a chance yet. Now this comes with a 403 Tactic controller. This is a mini controller. It's very small. It works really well. If you watch my first video, I felt like the gimbals were really smooth, and I was excited to fly these. After having flown these, what a great experience. That controller is awesome. I had no trouble with range. I really enjoyed the use of it. The controls are easy to get to, and it's got a lot of great features. It takes 5 AA batteries in the back. You can actually charge a 250 milliamp hour micro battery if you've got any of the micro planes from Flyzone. There's a couple things to know about this controller, one of which I made a very bad mistake. The first time I went out to fly one of these planes, you'll notice that actually this is my Spitfire. The Spitfire has been glued back together in the front right here, just on the top. And there's a little story behind that. When you first put the Aircore into these planes, you need to make sure that your servos aren't reversed. You wouldn't think that this controller would have servo reversing, but it does. I failed to check that. Beginner mistake, and what I did is I threw the plane, I launched it, everything was backwards. It was very hard to keep that in the air for a while. Eventually I ran out of steam, and it came about 30 miles an hour straight down into the ground, broke the front right off of it. I was a little disappointed, but hey, that's my fault. I glued it back together. I use a really good adhesive, it's called E6000, that's one of my favorites. But I glued it back together, really wasn't a big deal, and ever since it's been fine. With these Aircore planes, the canopies are held on by magnets. Simply the canopy comes off. The Aircore itself has a propeller attached to the front, which actually breaks free from the motor very easily. If you have an accident, the propeller will fall off. It's very unlikely that you'll break a propeller, I know from experience. The propeller will break away. You take this whole Aircore assembly with the 3 servos for aileron, rudder, and elevator. The receiver, the battery, and the brushless outrunner motor are all built into this one core. They're attached to the plane by little rare earth magnets. The whole core simply locks into place, that simple. The canopy slides right onto the top, and magnets right on. Very simple, very easy to do. Literally just takes a few seconds to change the Aircore out from one plane to the other. Now I have the Spitfire and the Focke-Wulf. I've flown both of these, and I have some interesting things to say about both of them. The Spitfire was definitely an agile plane. It was a lot of fun to fly. It was a little less smooth. I felt like it was a little more jumpy in the air. One thing I noticed right away is the control surfaces, the aileron especially, is a lot bigger on the Spitfire than it is on the Wolf. And that's obviously going to affect how this thing flies. When I flew, as you're going to see in a minute here, it was very windy outside. I had gusts definitely over 20 miles an hour. I was able to handle both of these planes in the wind. The brushless outrunner had enough power to pull both of them. I had no trouble with it whatsoever. If you're experienced in flying in the wind, definitely, it's not the most fun you'll ever have, but it can be, because you can use the wind to your advantage, and I definitely did that today. I had some good times. I was able to pull off some aerobatics and things, so definitely a lot of fun. The battery life on these is about 5, 6, 7 minutes in that vicinity, depending how much you are on the throttle. I would definitely recommend some extra batteries. I have 3 of them here. Just charge them up before you go. It'll keep you having fun for a long time. Now, like I said before, the propellers don't break easily. I've had a couple accidents with these planes, this one especially. When you hit the ground, the canopy will just fly off because it's magnetic. The air core, if you hit the ground that hard, will simply pop out and fall down because that's magnetic. The propeller pops off because it's on by a plastic clip. If you have a serious enough accident, the bottom of this plane will literally fall apart. And that's all there is to it. It's very durable. I had that one break in the top canopy. That was the only thing I've had go wrong, and I've had a couple major accidents. These planes are very durable. This Wolf was a really great plane to fly. It flew really smooth. I think the little smaller control surfaces make a difference, but man, this thing flew like it was on rails. I had a great time with this. But there's several different planes. Like I said, if you haven't looked into this, check it out. A lot of different planes to choose from. I just happened to get these two, the Wolf and the Spitfire. They were good choices. They actually have a trainer. If you're new to flying and you've maybe flown on a computer trainer a little bit, they have a beginner trainer, as well as you can pick up one of these sport planes, one of these fighter planes that's a little more agile, and you can kind of build yourself up into flying. If you use that trainer, it'll definitely hone your skills, and then you can get into some aerobatics with these warplanes. They're pretty nice. And Flyzone is coming out with new planes constantly. You'll see them all over Tower Hobbies. Keep checking them out. It's easy to pick up another fuselage, a whole new plane body. It's simply $45. You've already got the air core, and you've got the batteries, you've got propellers, you've got the transmitter. Takes 2 minutes to drop this in. You can get 3 or 4 of these things and have a really great time. The other thing is you won't be sick to your stomach if you're new and you really destroy one of these. Very cheap to replace it, but I don't think you're really going to break them that bad because it's going to take a lot. With those magnets, they fall apart. It was really great. So take a look at some of this video I had flying. I was, again, flying in some wind, but I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed both of these planes and the whole system. So check it out.
Yes, go.
some pretty cool stuff. I really had a great time. And I got a couple other words of wisdom for you guys when it comes to the Aircore system. The parts for this stuff is really cheap. If you break anything, don't feel bad. You know, the stuff is very inexpensive. What I would do is they actually make extra control arms. There's these little arms inside of there, and they have these little magnets on the end that attach to the servo linkages. You can pick up an extra pack of these for $2 with your order from Tower. I would grab an extra package of these servo linkages just because I had a magnet fall out of one of these. You know, they're simply glued in, and it's not a big deal to glue it back in, but the magnet's tiny, and if you lose it, you're beat. So I would order another set of these, $2. The other thing I would maybe order is the propeller, because the propeller actually comes with this propeller adapter that's on the end of the motor. If you guys can see that, it's where the propeller actually clips into. Now that thing is prone to break. I broke one piece off of it, but it's a really cheap fix. It pops right off the end of the motor. It's got a little flat spot on the shaft, so it slides on and off, just stays on there pretty easily. I would order yourself an extra propeller with that adapter. It comes as one unit for like $4.49, and I would get an extra package of those servo linkages. This will just keep you up in the air. You know, if you have an incident, if you crash it, you can hurry up, fix everything up right in the field in 2 minutes and put it back together. So that'll keep you flying. It'll keep you from being let down. Get a few extra batteries. They're very inexpensive, $5.99 for the extra batteries. Definitely pick up a couple of those. But other than that, just pick your favorite planes. Guys, they have tons to choose from. You know, whatever you like to fly the best. You know, you can do some research if you don't know much about, you know, any of the individual planes. If you're new to it, pick up that trainer. But transmitter, the Aircore, the whole system was ingenious. It's an awesome system. I really enjoyed flying it today. It was really smooth, really fun to fly. You can fly for quite a while. Comes with a charger. You get the whole package from Tower Hobbies. Get on towerhobbies.com. Check it out. They have a whole bundle. I'm serious. Look into it. This is definitely a good way to go. I think you can get away with flying these indoors, depends how good you are. They're definitely agile enough too if you have a big enough area, but you know, even in wind, I was flying in some fast winds, you can still have a good time. So I wouldn't be scared of these at all, especially if you're new to the hobby. Definitely a great way to get started, inexpensive, and it's not going to break on you. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Please subscribe to my channel. I've got tons of videos on the way. I've got other videos you can check out from Flyzone, from Tower Hobbies, from a lot of these other manufacturers, just to kind of give you an insight into what maybe is good, what maybe is bad. So keep watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.